morning, everyone. We are live and recording, and Chair Patterson, you can begin whenever you wish. Good morning, Jim. Can you hear us this morning?
I'm ready to go.
Yes, you are. Welcome.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone. As we begin, I'd like to remind you that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the Township's YouTube channel. We'll be having a hybrid meeting today with attendees joining from the council chambers and some, including me, remotely. We'll be holding the meeting as though we are in council chambers and will follow all the regular policies and procedures. Please raise your hand if you would like to speak on a matter, and I will call on you. When I call for the vote, I will call for all those in favor, followed by all those opposed, and you will physically raise your hand to vote in the matter you wish to vote. I'd now like to call the roll. Please raise your hand and state your presence when I call your name. I'm Jim Patterson. I'm chairing this meeting. Mark Porter.
Present.
Thank you, Mark. Robert Lamar, committee member. Hey, Rob. And Rod Manley, committee member.
Present.
Yep. And Deputy Mayor Nelson, committee member.
Present. Good morning.
And the staff joining us are Martina Shate Hartwig and Christina Coulter.
Present.
Okay, with everyone in attendance, I call the meeting to order. If any of you have a pecuniary interest, now's the time to tell us, and Martina will explain if there are any questions you may have. Please declare if any pecuniary interest. Seeing none, we'll move on. Approval of the minutes of our meeting April 12th, 2024. That seems like a year ago, but it was only 8 months ago. We need a mover and a seconder to receive and approve the minutes. Moved by, okay, there you are. Mark, thank you. Or Mayor Nelson, sorry. And seconded. Rod Manley, thank you. Any questions? If not, all those in favor? And approved. And I'm just noting that I have an unstable computer network, which may cause problems as the wind picks up. Okay, the minor variance application, minor variance file A0224, CATA report through planning 2024-25. The applicant and the property description is as you've seen. And Christina, you'd now review the report, please.
Thank you, Chair, members of the committee, and the public. Can everyone hear me okay, or would you like me to turn the microphone on? You're good? Perfect. So this is the public meeting for minor variance application file A02-24. The committee has before them report planning 2024-25 with the following recommendation: that the committee review and consider all verbal and written comments received regarding minor variance application file A0224, that the committee approve minor variance application A-02-24 as requested to permit a reduction in the minimum lot area requirement from 20 hectares to 16 hectares for an agricultural use on a retained parcel, and to address a condition of the decision for Peterborough County Land Division Files B49-23 and B55-23, and to bring the proposed lot into compliance with the zoning bylaw. This variance is deemed to be minor in nature and is appropriate for the development on this land. The application maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and approval is recommended with no conditions. So a bit of background: through his agent, Kyber Katak, the owner of the property, Altaf Kadir, has applied for a minor variance on the property located at 1376 Nassau Road. Both the owner and the agent are in attendance today. The owner has received provisional consent from Peterborough County Land Division for the creation of 2 new residential lots. As a condition of consent, the retained parcel requires a minor variance to recognize a deficient lot area. So the purpose of the minor variance is to permit a reduction in the minimum lot area requirement from 20 hectares to 16 hectares for an agricultural use on the retained parcel. Notice of the public meeting was provided on October 9th by ordinary mail and or email to all prescribed persons and public bodies, and to every person and public body that has provided a written request for notice. Notice of the public meeting was circulated by ordinary mail to every owner of land within 60 meters of the subject property. 2 signs were posted on the property on the County Road 4 frontage and on the Nassau Road frontage, and the notice was posted on the Township website. The giving of notice does comply with the applicable regulations of the Planning Act. Comments were received from Bell Canada, who did not identify any concerns with the application. The Engineering and Construction Division of Planning, Development, and Public Works for the County of Peterborough had no objections, comments, or concerns. The Autonomy Region Conservation Authority indicated that the application is consistent with Section 3.1 of the Provincial Policy Statement referencing natural hazards. The development does not appear to create new or aggravate existing hazards, and the subject property is not located within an area that is subject to the policies contained in the Trent Source Protection Plan. Orca noted that permits from their agency are not required since the property is not subject to their Regulation 41/24. Verbal comments were received from 1 member of the public. The owner of 420 Douro 7th Line did identify a number of concerns with respect to the creation of the severed lots. Their concerns can be summarized as follows: potential impacts on water quantity, possibility of increased traffic volumes and speed, unsafe entrances for the new lots, permitting lot creation on good farmland, reducing the lot size for agricultural operations, length of ownership of the property, and minimum distance separation from existing livestock facilities. The owner indicated they did not submit a formal objection to the County of Peterborough through the severance application process, but they were aware that another neighbor had objected. Senior staff from the Township did not identify any concerns with the application. And with that, I will turn it back to the chair for any questions from the committee or the public.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. A very lengthy report that you summarized very nicely. Thank you. The applicants are here. Is there any comment from the applicants or their agent?
Not particularly. I mean, unless you guys have any questions for us, there was some confusion with respect to the property being used for agricultural purposes versus more a hobby farm, which I think Christina has clarified in her report. So, I mean, you know, if you guys have any questions, you can answer them. But
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions from the committee? Rod and Harold. Rod, please.
Is it possible for that gentleman to say that again and just a little bit louder, or?
sorry.
Thank you.
No, I'm sorry.
Stand here and you'll be able to hear me better.
Can you guys hear me a little bit better now?
Okay.
That's
Yep.
improved.
Wonderful. I guess there's not really much to say other than, one of the things that was brought to our attention as a result of the report was that the farm is being used as a hobby farm. So, the requirement for the minor variance or the requirement for the routine law in that instance are 10 hectares, not 20 hectares. So the minor variance was never really required and should have not been required from the beginning. But anyways, we've already crossed that road. So that was really the only thing. But if you guys have any questions for us, then let us know. My father is here as well, and he's the one that owns the property, so he can answer any questions you guys have as well.
Thank you. And Harold, you had your hand up as well.
Yes, thanks through the chair. I guess just a couple of comments more. I did speak with the complainant as well as I believe Christina had spoke to the complainant. Anyways, and I spoke to Christina afterwards, and I believe as far as I know, I think the complainant's questions were pretty much answered through Christina, and I recalled back the complainant again just to confirm that. And anyways, I believe all the questions have been answered to the complainant as far as staff goes and as far as what I had the conversation with them. So I just wanted to let the committee know that we definitely did talk to the complainant about all them different issues. And I feel that it was all them questions were answered, I believe.
Okay. Thank you, Harold. Any other comments from the committee? Mark?
Thank you. Yeah, so I read through the file in detail and I had two questions about the public comments. One, is there any formal reason to give consideration in a process like this to the specific concern around the length of ownership of the property? Like, is that ever anything that we would consider? My sense is no, but is that something, it's on the record, but is that something that would ever be formally considered? And the other question I had specific to that was, there was a mention that this individual was aware that another neighbor had objected. Is that in fact the case, or is that, just tin can telephone and did not actually occur?
Through the chair.
Martina or
Excuse me.
Christina?
Yes, thank you. Through you, Chair, to Committee Member Porter. To answer the first question, in terms of lot creation, length of ownership is a consideration. So to create a severance in the rural area in the Township of Douro-Dummer, you must have owned the property for a minimum of 5 years, and the applicant did qualify and met that 5-year requirement, so they were eligible for severance. Or the property rather was eligible for severance. In terms of the second question about another objection, that is also correct. Through the severance application process, there was an objection which did cause the application to go to the committee, to the Land Division Committee to make a decision rather than it being considered a straightforward application where it would have had a decision by the Director of Planning. So that is correct. The committee found that the application did conform to all of the provincial legislation and to the county official plan, and the committee did grant the applications.
Thank you. I had one other question, and it was just around the fact that there's proposal to sever 2 lots specifically as opposed to 2. Again, is there any consideration for us under that? The fact that it's 2 lots as opposed to 1 larger lot, or is that at all for our consideration at this point?
Through the chair, so no is the answer to that question.
Okay.
So That's a consideration for the land division committee in terms of the maximum number, and property is eligible for 2 every 25 years as long as they loan it for a minimum of 5. So, but that would be a consideration for the land division committee.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
So any other questions from the committee? If not, are we ready for the question? All those in favor of the motion presented to us to approve this application? And I see unanimity. Thank you. That being said, that's approved. And we now go back to the biggest issue of the day. Are we going to meet again this year?
Through the chair, it might be very possible. I know we've got a couple of applications on the horizon. I think one might have been delivered yesterday, but we're waiting on a fee. So yeah, it's very likely we will meet again.
Well, so we'll have an opportunity for a seasonal cup of tea. That's good. Rod Manley?
I just wanted to mention that the report that came forward made this a good decision. It was well written and all the information provided to us was very complete. I really appreciate that as a member, and I truly feel that this application certainly fits into the overall gist and environment and the community. So again, report well done, and I'd like to thank them for that, Christine.
Thank you, Rod. I would agree. Is it time for another cup of coffee? A motion to adjourn, please. That's unanimous. Everyone move. Get out of here. Okay. Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks.
Stay safe.
All right,
Take
take care,
care.
guys. Bye.
Thank you.